So let's talk about this dark green navigation bar and look a little more closely at the tools that are available through it. So we already talked about navigating back to the course home. Now let's talk about course content. So course content is where your instructor is going to put all of the materials that you need for the course. Things like the syllabus, assignment instructions, course readings, and even links to discussions and the Dropbox tool. So when you click course content, that opens up. On the left-hand side, you see the table of contents, and on the right-hand side, depending on which of these you've opened, it shows all the files and materials within each of those tables of contents. So you might think about the files on the left as sort of chapters of the book, and then the files on the right as the pages within those chapters. So the table of contents is likely to be organized by modules or even by weeks. So if you click on one of those modules, it will then open up, as I said, all the materials that you need for that module, including things like the readings and assignment instructions, etc. So let's talk next about discussions. So to get directly to the discussions tool, say you know you have a discussion that you need to post in and you don't want to have to try to dig through the materials in the course content to get to it. You just want to go straight to it. So you click on activities on that dark green navigation bar. That pulls down a drop-down menu, and then you click on discussions to get straight to the discussion tool. When you open that up, you then have access to all of the discussions for the course. So you click on the discussion title that you want to post in, and that opens up that particular forum or topic. And then you either are going to reply to a post that someone has already made, or you might start a new thread depending on the instructions for that discussion. If you're starting a new thread, you'll want to type in the subject matter so that people know what you'll be talking about, and then you can type in your response. You can even do things like add pictures or hyperlinks. And then once you've typed in everything you want to include in that discussion post, you want to make sure you click the blue post button at the bottom of the message, and that will publish it to that discussion. You'll see on the left-hand side there is a discussion list, so that if you want to move around between discussions, you can do that quickly and easily. One thing to notice, once you're in the discussion tool, you no longer have access to that dark green navigation bar. Whenever you find yourself in that position in your course, the way that you get back to the course homepage so that you can have access to that navigation bar is to find the title of the course in the upper left-hand corner on that black bar. You click on that, and that will take you back to the course homepage, where again you have access to the navigation bar. I also want to draw your attention to the Dropbox, because that is also a commonly used tool in online courses. And it's easy to get to by using the activities button on the navigation bar. So you click on activities, you get the drop-down menu, you click on Dropbox, and that opens all the Dropbox folders where you might turn in an assignment, and also where you can get the feedback that your instructor has left for you on that assignment. So it's very important that after an assignment has been turned in and graded, that you also go back to look in the Dropbox to see if your instructor has left you any feedback. So if I click on a folder in the Dropbox and I open that up, I'll likely see some instructions for what I'm supposed to be turning in. I see that I have the option to add a file. So this is where I would upload a Word document or a PDF or a PowerPoint or whatever it is I'm being asked to turn in. I can even record an audio message for my instructor, or I can write some comments for him or her about my assignment. And then of course, very importantly, when I'm ready to turn it in, I must click that blue submit button for it to post to the Dropbox. Also important on this dark green navigation bar, if I want to check my grades, I click on grades, and that pulls down the drop-down menu where I can access the gradebook, and that's where I can look to see if an assignment has been graded and how I'm doing on that on my grades. And then lastly, of course, there's a help button on the dark green navigation bar. If I click on that, if I'm having technical difficulties with D2L and I click on student help, that will take me to a resource page through the Office of Information Technology.